Guys, today we got one of the most hyped dunks of 2024. Everyone has stopped selling Yeezys, and apparently it's gonna be impossible to take an L on the military blue 4s. Welcome to Sneaky Sundays, and speaking of 4s, let's get into a little release recap because the Vivid Sulfurs dropped over the weekend. Now, to be clear, these just dropped for you guys out in the US. The rest of the world is still waiting on a release, or at least here in the EU, the UK, which apparently that release should be happening on April the 20th if you did want this pair of shoes. But if you're from the US, let me know how the release went down in the comments. This one's pretty crazy, but Takashi Murakami's Ohana slides dropped as well. I didn't even hear about it. They retail at $120 and they are reselling for thousands. I couldn't imagine paying thousands for a pair of slides, but apparently someone already did. Let me know if by some miracle you managed to grab these. Getting into the upcoming stuff, and we've actually got a pretty insane round of leaks of some upcoming 3s. There's quite a few, so let's kick this off with the brand new Ma Maniere Air Jordan 3 that's going to be dropping this year. So apparently they're coming in July on the 18th, and we've kind of had rumors and leaks of these things that they're going to be dropping alongside a pair of 4s. However, I don't believe we've seen solid images of those just yet. We've seen James Whitner wearing them, but nothing else. They're looking okay, nothing insane, but still pretty solid. It's interesting that they went with this all over black colorway because I mean, we are going to be getting black cements later on this year, I believe in November. I'm not going to say they look the same, but you know what I mean. They're both black Jordan 3s with similar paneling. Very nice looking suede on the heel counter as well as the front of the shoe. Of course, you got the maroon hits because that's a Ma Maniere. And then of course the sail outsole. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to say that these are bad. The suede almost looks like freaking pony hair or something because it's so long. I think this is a cool drop, and I'm just looking forward to the 4s a little bit more than these. Now, a pair of 3s that I am really looking forward to is how surprising this Nina Chanel Abney collab is. So freaking good looking. It's a little bit of a weird mixture of materials. You've got canvas for most of the upper and then all of the suede details. These things really do have a different take on the 3s because you do have quite a few different elements. Like, first of all, you've got rope laces. You've got a different style tongue, which seems to be raw edged and then stitched over. You've got a leather sock liner. My favorite detail is around the back. So if you take a look at the back tabs on these, that is completely different. And it almost looks like they somehow managed to glue like patches of suede on the back as well. They come in a pretty cool box, and I just generally speaking like the theme of these things. I like them way better than what Nina Chanel Abney did with the 2s. Some people are going to like them, other people are going to absolutely hate them. That's completely fine because you got a little while to make your mind up on if you like these things or not. They're going to be dropping on June the 20th. Another pair of 3s, like I said, we got quite a few. The J Balvin Air Jordan 3 Rio just got a release update. These are going to be dropping now on May the 22nd. Very nice pair of shoes. I mean, I love the first ones that they did so much. They're a big part of my rotation now. I've been wearing them more and more recently. And yes, I do definitely prefer the first ones. However, these ones are solid as well. Final 3 that we're going to talk about is the Whataburger ones. Yeah, I bet you didn't expect I'd say that. It's basically some kind of custom Jordan 3 that Whataburger is doing. I think there's only one pair. The sweepstakes for these things are open until tomorrow, April the 8th. I think all you have to do is literally just comment on their Instagram post and then you're like in for a shot. Probably more of a promotional thing. But yeah, if you wanted to check them out, they exist. It is a thing, and honestly, the colorway is not that bad. Big new leak for the upcoming most hyped dunks that are dropping this year. Of course, I'm talking about the Futura Nike SB Dunk Low. The latest update is that they're now going to be dropping next month in May. Now, I don't think we have a specific date in May just yet. However, we also just got a little sneak peek at another pair that they left out. This right over here is the second colorway, or what is going to be a friends and family exclusive. They're probably limited to like, you know, a couple pairs or something. Now keep in mind, this blue pair, the one that's actually going to get a proper release, they're supposed to be a general release, or that's what they're code named. Hopefully that is the case. I like both of these colorways. They're pretty solid. Again, if we get any more updates on this, I'll let you guys know. We just got a brand new leak of an upcoming collaboration between Nike and the Paisa boys. So we've got two different silhouettes, an Air Force One and a Cortez. Take a look at these things. They are looking pretty damn wild, but very fitting for this collaboration. Ton of different details around the back and the front of the shoe. It almost looks like stitched on panels, which is pretty dope. Now the Cortez looks extremely similar vibe going for the black and white. Even though they teased these images, we do not have a release date. They should be dropping just at some point in 2024. Couple Jordan 5 leaks, so we're going to be getting an Air Jordan 5 black and white that's dropping this year. Jordan brand keeping keeping it very, very simple for the Jordan 5 silhouette here in 2024. Like, we've got the sales coming up this month, and now we're pretty much, you know, another black and white pair. It's almost like Jordan Brand is putting the 5s on ice because we're really not getting that many colorways. Either way, these should be dropping this September. Nothing too crazy. I would take the sales over these though, for sure. Much bigger pair that's going to be dropping is the Air Jordan 5 OG Black Metallic, which are going to be returning next year. Jordan Brand is definitely not done reissuing older silhouettes. And the last time these things did retro was back in 2016, so a decent amount of time between them. So I can imagine a lot of people are excited about these things coming back. As far as we know, they're going to have the Nike Air branding on the heel. They're going to be like true to the original, and they're rumored to drop at some time spring 2025. A couple of releases that are happening this month. First one being the Kobe Bryant Adidas Crazy 98 is going to be dropping April the 13th. Another pair that's dropping is the Nike SB Dunk Low, which they're now calling Live, Laugh, Love. Why couldn't they just call them the big money savings? That's what everybody was nicknaming them. I'm not even gonna call them that. Honestly, it's kind of confusing in terms of its inspiration. It's a real mixed bag. You've got like rope laces, some very, very interesting material. The side panels kind of look like wallpaper. The wildest thing is, like, on the inside of these things, they have like this huge receipt looking tag. Yeah, like this one over here. Either way, if you want to check these things out, again, April the 17th, it's a pretty interesting pair of dunks. We got a little update on that upcoming CPFM and Nike collab, which is happening this year. Now we just got kind of a confirmation. Lil Yachty took to Instagram and posted the 4 colorways that are going to be dropping. This is something that was rumored for a while now, so not only are we getting a restock of the black and the white colorway, but we're also getting an extremely bright green and purple pair. Now, we don't really have too much information on this. All we know is that they should be dropping this year, and obviously there's 4 colorways. Some or a couple could be friends and family exclusives or a lot more limited. But yeah, no specific release dates or anything like that. However, with these, you know, the leaks kind of ramping up, I would imagine within the next couple months, in line for summertime. Speaking of forces, these things have got to be the wildest shoes I've seen Nike make in a minute. This is the Dot Swoosh Nike Air Force 1 Low 404 Error. Don't get me wrong, I love the idea. Like, it, you know, I understand what they're trying to do with this, but man, they look pretty damn ugly. So basically, it's just like the Air Force 1 silhouette, but just nothing else. So they removed the Nike swoosh, all of the paneling, and then just threw on this patent leather, so they have like this plastic look. And yeah, they're looking like an error. Now, these should be dropping summer 2024, so I gotta know what you guys think of these. Let me know down in the comments. This one's really nice. So PJ Tucker just announced that he's got an upcoming Nike collaboration on the Air Flight 89. These are looking very, very nice. I freaking love this colorway. It is super clean. So it's like this light blue inspired by air travel. Unfortunately, we don't have any details on this in terms of like a release, when they're supposed to be dropping. I imagine at some point this year. But here's an image that he shared just of the back of them. You can see that they are going to come with some very interesting material. And then of course we have the on-foot shot of him wearing them. I highly doubt they're going to be coming in this freaking suitcase, or at least not the actual GR version. Adidas and Korn are going to be dropping another round of sneakers. Not too far off what they've already done, but I thought that the first collaboration was pretty decent. The packaging was really well done. I think that they did the campus in the first round, and now they're doing a campus 2. They're going to be dropping on May the 15th, and here's the images of it. Very, very similar to the last one. They're also going to be doing an Adidas Super Modified. This one comes in a little bit of a different colorway, and of course it'll be accompanied by some wild clothing. We got a little leak of Lamelo Ball's next signature sneaker with Puma. So this is rumored to be the MB.04. Man, they've been pretty rapid with the pump out of this silhouette. Makes sense, a lot of people really like this. I'm actually really liking the look of these things. So generally speaking, they don't depart too much from just the regular silhouette that we've seen with the past 3 versions. However, these look to have like some kind of rubberized plastic overlapping the top, which in the right colorway could look insanely good. This is the only picture that we have, so I imagine they drop at some point this year, maybe. Right, let's talk about these Yeezys, which are now no longer available. That's right, so I'm not just talking about Adidas and Yeezy, I'm also talking about Yeezy. So about a week back, I believe, or a little bit longer, Adidas decided to pull all of the Yeezys that they had on their Adidas Confirmed app ready to sell. So those notoriously didn't sell out, so everybody thought that they would just kind of sit around. It was a little bit weird that Adidas pulled them off of the app. People were speculating that that was because of the most recent Fear of God and Adidas collaboration drop. They kind of didn't want the Yeezy Yeezys to compete with that. Could those be coming back? We're not entirely sure, but what we do know is that Adidas still has a lot of Yeezys to sell. But one we may not see this year is the only shoe that Yeezy is selling, the Yeezy Pods. These things have been on the Yeezy website since December in 2023, and they've just been available for kind of like a pre-order. I think it said like shipping takes 4 weeks. And now for the first time since they originally got loaded up, they have been taken down and are no longer available. Most people are pretty much assuming that it's because they are so inundated with so many other Yeezy Pod orders that they pulled them off the website to try and fulfill the ones that they've already made, which would make a lot of sense because, I mean, it just seems like it's getting a little bit out of hand now. So many people are complaining about not receiving their Yeezy Pods. However, this could also be the last that we see of the Yeezy Pod. That could be it. They, you know, they sold enough of these things and now they just took them off the website. Maybe they're going to move on to something else. We had a little leak and rumor of a pair of slides when the Yeezy Pods were first announced. So no more Yeezy Gap stuff, no more Yeezy Pods. So yeah, anybody who didn't order these Yeezy Pods may never get another shot. They could be gone permanently. Some Travis Scott news, nothing too crazy, but I did want to highlight a couple of these things. So the first one is that we have a new release date for the Black Olive Air Jordan 1 low colorway. So these things are going to be dropping September the 12th. Now, we've been over these shoes quite a few times. I'm sure you've seen plenty of different images, but yeah, this is what they look like. Now the second pair, which again is, you know, just a slight little tweak on an already existing one. In fact, these things look so similar to the Golf version that dropped earlier, I believe last year. Either way, this is the medium olive colorway that are only going to be dropping next year, by the way, sometime spring in 2025. But we did just get the best images that we've seen yet, which really highlights how stale this midsole is going to be. We got a couple different conflicting release dates for the Jumpman Jacks as well. Thought I would mention that. So the general consensus is that these are going to be dropping April the 30th, which would kind of make sense because that's Travis Scott's birthday. However, we've also had some conflicting news that they're going to be dropping April 26th. You know, that could also be Cap, but that is a Friday instead of April 26th being a Tuesday, which, you know, normally it's a weekend release for a big sneaker like this. It would also mean that we have two different release dates where, you know, we have the Nike sneakers on the 26th and then maybe Travis Scott does another release because it's his birthday. Also apparently getting 100,000 pairs, which would be pretty interesting. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, these are probably going to be a very hard pair of shoes to get your hands on, considering it's a Travis Scott sneaker and his first ever signature sneaker as well. Now, along with the Jumpman Jacks, we're also going to be getting some clothing to go along with it, and we just got some leaks of what this clothing line looks like. So we got some brown hoodies, nothing too crazy, honestly. I think I normally prefer Travis Scott's merch without Jordan Brand. Jordan Brand seems to kind of make everything a little bit plainish. All, you know, very, very Travis Scott in terms of the colorways. Right, it's time to talk about these freaking military blue 4s. So it's been quite a few weeks that we've had an increasing amount of stock rumors for this pair of shoes. I think the leading one was that they were going to be making 1 million pairs of these, and that leads to posts like this where it says it's impossible to take an L. It says here there are more than double the number of the military blue 4s as there were bred imagined 4s. This is not just some random page, this is Jordan Daily, a very solid account for everything Jordan Brand. Again, we've got more posts saying 800 to 900,000 pairs of these that are going to be made, and honestly I think this is all going to be pretty accurate. I think there is going to be a ton of pairs. This is going to be a heavy GR. A lot of people want this pair of shoes, and I'm not surprised. I mean, I definitely want a pair, so I'm happy about this stock rumor number. But this has been a pretty random release. They've been pushed back multiple times, or a lot of the release dates have been wrong. They're apparently now going to be dropping on May the 25th, so, you know, sometime soon, and we can obviously expect some exclusive access releases before that. Final story for today. Champion just sold for over $1 billion. That's right. Champion kind of been slowing down a lot recently. Their global sales were decreasing by 23% in Q4, which basically meant that they were struggling. So guess who swooped in to buy them up? It was Authentic Brands Group, who also owned DC Shoes, Reebok, and Vision Streetwear. What I thought was pretty interesting is Reebok, because I was like, wait a minute, didn't Adidas own Reebok? Well, Adidas did own Reebok. They bought them for, I believe, $3.6 billion. However, when Adidas couldn't make anything out of Reebok, they decided to sell as well, which I believe they actually sold at a loss, a pretty significant one. Like I think they sold Reebok to this same group for about 2.5, 2.6. Either way, we'll wait and see if ABG can put out anything pretty solid with Champion, if they can, you know, turn things around for them. That is the final story for today. Thank you for joining me for this episode. Again, we do this every single Sunday, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, you can always stay in the loop at the latest sneaker releases, latest sneaker news, and click over there to find out what sneakers I actually wear.